all the panelists for a wonderful discussion. Now we go to the core part of our entire challenge, which is to talk to the hospitals who are there on the ground and who have brought us the problem, the areas where they are looking to do the data transformation. So for that, I would like to invite Mr. Ishaq to moderate the discussion. Now I will talk very shortly about the process, some of the things about the challenge here. We got a large number of applications, and where we did the initial short listing of those applications internally on the basis of certain criteria. Subsequently, we had three jury panels decided, in which shortlisted startups pitched their solutions. The winners have been decided on the basis of the ratings given by the juries. But then, having said this, even those who are not chosen as the winner by the juries, they have very strong opportunity and potential to do the commercial engagement with the hospitals, because ultimately that is what matters. The ratings have been decided, the winner have been decided on the basis of the overall jury ratings. But then there are cases, and there have been cases in certain areas where the hospital said that okay, fine, even though this is the winner, the other one who is not the winner, his solution is actually much more in line with my particular requirement. uh, so even those who are not the winners into this, I would say that you still have strong opportunity for the business engagement with different hospitals. So we are a little bit late behind, so I will just hand it over to Mr. Ishaq Kadri, who is the secretary of HIMSS. And actually, he's a lot more. He's an expert into this IT area. He spent a lot of time into the IT area, but I will not really go into those as yet. And hand over to Mr. Ishaq. Mr. Ishaq,
Thank
over
you
to
very
you.
much, Sudhanshu. And I think it's an excellent initiative. Very happy to be contributing from the HIMSS and from the hospital IT fraternity perspective. We have a great opportunity here in terms of digitization of the healthcare sector. And I think that's what is really very, very exciting. Let me share a quick few slides and let me start sharing it. So you're able to see my slides, Sudhanshu?
Yes, Mr. Kal.
Yeah. So thank you so much once again, and a very good evening, I guess, yeah, for all of the participants who are there right now. Healthcare Innovation Challenge has been an exciting journey for a lot of us, and as you can see on your screen, there are a host of logos being shown there, right from Zydus Hospital, Sakra World, Arvind Eye Care, Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences, KIMS Hospitals, Hyderabad, Dr. Mehta's hospitals, the Chennai-based group, Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute. We have had quite a lot of discussion on the Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute this afternoon. And then last but not the least, the Center for Innovation and Incubation, SUM Hospital-based Center in Bhubaneswar. So it's been a very unique initiative as we all have come to know about it thus far. And the objective of this session or this presentation is the most exciting of them all, wherein we're going to talk about what really happened behind the scenes and what exactly happened with the overall process that we followed here. What were the key objectives to begin with? These were the three key objectives. Point number one, as already has been mentioned time and again throughout in the afternoon, that we are talking about creating a competitive edge and operational excellence for hospitals. Hospitals cannot be the areas where we compromise on the timeliness of delivery, we compromise on the quality of delivery. When we do not compromise in a small restaurant, how come we are okay with it when it comes to hospitals? So that's point number one. Second is enabling hospitals to nominate use cases relevant to them, which was the whole process that we followed. Driving the program that enables the curation, the overall facilitation part of it, evaluation, the deployment of technology, and taking it to the next stage or level, which is to do with the implementation of these use cases. There are timelines mentioned down below. In the interest of time, I would not be getting into the details. So roughly, we started like 3 months back, and here we are at the final stage. The partner hospitals I've just mentioned about them. This is just for your, refreshing your memory again. These were the six nominated use cases. A brief touch upon these six use cases. We had the outpatient department automation related use case. We had the IP automation, and the third was about prescription automation. This is about, you know, the handwritten prescriptions getting transformed into digital form, or dictated ones or digital ones getting into better forms and shapes. Digitizing the pathology slides was the fourth use case. Integration of diagnostic equipment with the EMR, a lot got to do with how the interoperability works there. And last but not the least, AI-based respiratory syndrome diagnosis. So these six use cases, okay, we will be having a panel. And before that, just a quick mention, we very much from the bottom of our heart, okay, thank all of these great personalities that you see on your screen right now, who have immensely contributed to this whole exercise. I would like to thank Mr. Bhupendra Solanki, Head of IT, Sakra World Hospital, Mr. Sarvanan Sankaran, CIO of Arvind Eye Care Systems, Madurai, Dr. Samir Mehta, Vice Chairman, Dr. Mehta's Multi-Speciality Hospital, Chennai, Mr. Ganpati Shankar, CTO, Dr. Mehta's, Mr. Shamnath Harinath, GM of Innovation Management and Digital Business, Siemens Healthcare, Ms. Geeta Babaria, India CTO for Capgemini. She was there in the previous panel as well. Mr. Kedar Mehdi, very well known in the IT circles, coming from Philips, Director of Philips Innovation Campus, Bangalore. Mr. Manish Kumar Rai, IT head from Zydus Hospital. Mr. Naveen Kumar, GM of IT at KIMS Hospital, Hyderabad. Mr. Deepak Arora from AstraZeneca, the Director of Market Access and Commercial Strategy. And last but certainly not the least, our own Joy Chakrabarti, the CEO of Hinduja Hospitals, Mumbai. This was panel one. And then we have panel two. We have some repeat faces here. I'll just read out the unique ones, okay, which have been added here. So Ms. Renuka Bodla, she is from the Novartis. She's the head of Biomed in Novartis. Dr. Anil Kukreja, okay, from AstraZeneca. And we have Mr. Srinivasan S from Siemens Healthcare. Dr. Vidur Mahajan from Mahajan Imaging. Mr. JP Dwivedi, CIO from Rajiv Gandhi. And Dr. Jaishankar Das from the SUM Hospital, Bhubaneswar, the CII Center, and Mr. Manoj Kumar from Optum. He's the Vice President and Head of Product Engineering and Product Management. So this was panel two, which was about the AI-based respiratory syndrome and prescription digitization. Panel three, again, we have a huge lineup here. I will just read out the unique names who were not mentioned in the previous slide. Ms. Deepthi Nath from the Sakra World Hospital, Mr. Ryan Chaudhary from GE Healthcare, Mr. Chandramouli from the Sankara Netralaya, Chennai, and Mr. Mohiddin Azhar from the Siemens Healthcare, the Medical Devices R&D Division Head. And then we have Mr. Srinivasan Sundarajan from GAPS Technologies. And finally, we have Mr. Joji George, the Clinical Care Solution Digital Senior Director at GE Healthcare. So these were the panel members. I wish we were in a hall and we could have heard a big round of applause for all of them. But we essentially would like to express our deep gratitude to all these great ladies and gentlemen who really contributed with a lot of time, a lot of their expertise, intense interactions and discussions. Thank you very much from the bottom of heart, like from NASCOM as well as from the whole participating organizations here. So now coming to the meat of the whole discussion here, what were the criteria? I mean, before we get into the discussion of what went on with these participants and who is kind of emerging as a winner or a runner-up, these were the 6 areas we looked at in terms of the criteria. Solution fitment, okay, the fitment of the solution in terms of meeting the use case objectives, the use cases that we just now spoke about. I've just given the name of the use case. There was a detailed description of the use case which was crafted and presented to these IT companies. The ease of usage, primarily looking at the user interface and the user experience that one goes through. Pricing is very important especially from Indian context, we all are aware of. So that had to be a part of the criteria. The strength of the team, like how strong is the expertise and how far can it take the solution that is being proposed. The various deployment models that they're coming forward with, and this data security was the fifth aspect. And last but not the least, the integration capabilities, how interoperable these solutions are, how can they work with the rest of the ecosystem. So this was the criteria which was applied, and that's how we came out with. Now, before we move on with the presentation of the winners and the individual use cases, I would like to invite Ms. Anjali Ajay Kumar, if Madam could, throw some light on, because we are delighted to have her as a guest speaker today. If she could throw some light on some of the digital transformation initiatives happening in HCG. She is the Director of Strategy and Quality in HCG. I would like to hear from you, Madam. What is the role and significance of healthcare IT in the overall strategy that you're looking at within your hospital? Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone, and thanks for the invitation today. I'm very excited to hear from each hospital about each company and how it went, and looking forward to hearing that. I think from the perspective of looking at it as a broad area of strategy, there are three main things that we look at, right? One is, where are we in that digital transformation journey? The good news is that we can learn from other countries that started off very early and not make the mistakes that they did and be able to grow very quickly. The other good news is that I think the COVID pandemic has really pushed us to move that digital transformation a lot faster than we would have done otherwise. So with those, and the other aspect that we look at is what we have as infrastructure within our hospitals. And of course, as consolidation and other things happen, chains are forming, larger hospital groups are coming, so that standardization of care for patients, the ease and consistency across all the units. At HCG, for our 25 units, one of our big things that we look at for any digital transformation is, how can we be consistent and sustainable across all our units? If a patient walks into Ranchi, how can we leverage digital transformation so they have the same clinical expertise and the same clinical process that they would go through that they would in a place like Bangalore? So that's where, a HIS or an EMR, those basics come in. But then how do you take on new technologies and build on top of that? And that's where I think working with innovation, working with startups really helps. Because while we do have large hospitals and things going up, bureaucracy and new transformations become a lot slower. So when you have startups, when you have new innovation, you can bring that and build right on top. So that is, the exciting part of where I think IT strategy is going. And the other, major thing is, what is the IT structure within the organization that we keep in order to have that infrastructure for innovation to happen? How is the structure of the team? I think previously, and for a lot of years, we've had one IT person that sits at each unit. You might have a few people at your central office that help with a lot of initiatives. But now the transformation of digital is, what is the investment and what is the time that each hospital chain puts into their own IT team in order to bring in innovation, in order to bring in new technologies and build it within our system. So these are, a few areas that I think that we really look at, and we look at how we leverage that and move. One of the things that HCG has done that is unique, and of course, we want more hospitals and everyone to be a part of, is that we've kind of separated out innovation and startups into a separate, almost vertical, where we assess and we look at which companies we want to bring in and how well does that blend in with our strategic goals. And the other big thing is, can we connect with other hospital chains, other healthcare providers, and can we use the same kind of innovation in those companies, and can we all do it together in a more collaborative way? While we don't have an NH system, and that comes with its own pros and cons. Is there a way that hospitals and healthcare providers can collaborate more, where we can use fewer companies that are bringing in innovation, but bring in that consistency and help leverage that? Because currently we are littered with many, many companies that are bringing in similar products, whether it's in OPD flow, IPD flow, pathology, HIS, EMR, AI, any of these things. Are there ways that we can collaborate in healthcare providers to be able to use fewer of those services, but help those companies enhance and become stronger, so we have the consistency that our patients really desire? I think that's few of the areas that I would say strategically.
Thank you so much. I think that was really very fantastic to hear the kind of initiative that you are looking at. I just had a request from Mr. Saravanan. I think he had to catch a flight. Saravanan, you are there? He had requested to kind of be allowed to, share his thoughts first before he leaves. Saravanan, you want to take over?
Hi, Chuck. Thank you all and good evening for giving this opportunity. Glad to meet all the panel members here and the participants. It was a great journey to go across this HIC Challenge 1. It was a very creative group of people and startups. Sorry, I'm rushing through because of my other commitment. I need to catch a flight. But certainly, on the use case which we have been working on from Arvind Eye Care, integration of diagnostic equipment with EMR. This is one of the challenge we go through day to day, and that's where we thought this could be open up to the IT companies and then bring up some innovative ideas across the country. So we ran through multiple startups and organizations who participate, and what is mentioned there on the screen, Care Expert, Healthgraph, and RTO. Really brought in with a lot of innovative ideas and solutions. But what we kind of see more from our use case was typically from the ophthalmology. We have a lot of devices which we have day in, day out, integrated with the EMR and EHR systems, right? And while we looked into all the three participants, and we felt RTO was more of a candidate who can be called as a winner. And then, of course, there are other participants also who are equally developed solutions, but we felt they may be, close content who are matching our requirement, and probably we will take it forward on the next steps with that winner. So that's a key message for the participants, and also from the runner-up point of view, equally Healthgraph has put a lot of thoughts around the data exchanging, the standardization of the integration with their EMR, EHR, following HL7 formats and other compliance expectation. But we would equally look into both of them and see where do we take it forward. So thank you all again for giving this opportunity, and also congratulations to the winner and runner-up.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Saravanan. Okay, we appreciate your presence. So do have a safe flight and carry on with your schedule. Thank you. So I'll get back to the OPD automation. So before that, congratulations to R2 Technologies and the runner-up, which was Healthgraph. And as we mentioned multiple times, Care Expert also has done a phenomenal job. We really appreciate that as well. Now it is over to the OPD automation use case, for which I would like to invite Mr. Naveen Kumar, the General Manager IT at KIMS Hospital, Hyderabad, and Mr. Manish Kumar Rai, Head of IT, Zydus Hospital. Over to both of you, gentlemen.
Namaste, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks for
good evening, everyone.
So our agenda is basically we are looking one solution for the OPD automation. Like we don't want to, like in the previous discussion we have about we want to patient centric. We don't want to keep patient to be in queue. They can do their registration and all this thing from their home. This is our base agenda for the finalize the document, finalize the vendors. So we have seen lot of the effort the company done, Best Doc and Best Doc, CareWorks, And they have done lot of the thing. We are very impressed. Someone that done integration with the Aadhaar card. That is a fantastic thing for us. So patient can simply enter their Aadhaar card, scan their Aadhaar card, then can do the registration. They done a wonderful job. Over to Mr.
Yeah, thank you, Manish. So actually, the requirements, whatever were given, where we are able to actually see using this all the solution providers based on the criteria given by the NASSCOM and team. So we were able to rate the available solutions. I think we can go to the next slide, Mr. Ishaq. So Best Doc is the winner from all the juries. This has been it was a little tough to judge all the solution providers, but finally we had to give Best Doc the winner and Care Expert as the runner-up. But many of the hospitals would need more support from all the startups to get into more detailed requirements. I think that's from our side. Thank you. You're on mute, Mr. Ishaq.
I'm sorry, yeah, I was on mute. Yeah, so congratulations to Best Doc and Care Expert, and I think HealthGraph also did a good job there. So we'd like to extend our gratitude to all the participants who made this happen. And we move on to the next use case set, the panel. Okay, and for that, I would like to invite Mr. Bhupendra Solanki, Head of IT, Sakra World Hospitals, Bengaluru, which is about IPD automation. Over to Mr. Bhupendra.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, all, and thank you, Mr. Ishaq, and other members also. During this pandemic time, the management, the workflow pushed all the IT head or IT stakeholders to think beyond the boundary, how we can automate the process and manual touch can we eliminate, and we can reduce the workload from the clinical side. So in that segment, we along with the operational team, clinical team, done the brainstorming and find out one hurdle, we can say, because we talk about AI, we talk about ML, but all these things require data, electronic data. Currently in healthcare, electronic data, now OPD segment started, but IPD is still, we are far away. In that segment, we thought IPD automation also require. One of the point we taken as a nursing care treatment for the IPD patient. In that, most of the time of nursing care going in between to reaching the room, coming back to nursing station, putting the things into the HIS or sometime on the paper. It's a collective job up there, and sometimes calling doctor, calling other supporting staff. So we realized we done the study, and some 40% time of their 8-hour duty they are spending on the non-clinical things. So for that purpose, like automation in nursing care, so complete things we'll put into the HIS from inside the patient room as patient room only. So we find out in that segment a few partner, like they are fulfilling almost 80-90% requirement, which we realized that is good, and it is not only for like Sakra Hospital or Bangalore Hospital, useful for everywhere across India, across world.
Correct.
It will help us a lot in nursing care. They can save their time. They can more focus on the clinical part instead of doing the non-clinical things and arranging the things. So in that segment, so there are 3 partners who pitch in this segment. One is Sitcom, another is Avalabs, means Drypo, and Stasis Lab. all three are having a very strong reason to be in the competition. They are very particular about their solution. But yes, some criteria based calculation is there. So in that, some friction of points and all. So Avilab Drypo came as a winner, and this Stasis came as a runner-up. So it doesn't mean this Stasis and another company is not a capable or not
Sitcam.
good.
Sitcam.
They also almost same level. But yes, sometimes fitment or geographical details or some commitment, you can choose a partner. So in that segment, Avilab or Drypo came as a winner and Stas as a runner-up. So that I congratulate both the companies for their fantastic solution, which will help us or which will bring evaluation or wow factor in the IPD care from the nursing side. So
Thank
I
you.
once again congratulate both the companies, and thanks to Mr. Kadri.
Thank you very much, Bhupendra. I think it was so lovely to hear from you. And once again, we congratulate the winner and the runner-up, Eve Labs with their solution Dripo, and Status Solutions also. We really appreciate, as Sitcam also, we appreciate your time and participation. Good luck. Thank you very much. Then we move on to the next one. Yeah, so prescription digitization, we all know, is one area where there is lots need to be done there. The area where the doctors do prescriptions and how much of ease of use can we bring in that area. That was the whole crux of the challenge here. It's over to Mr. JP Dwivedi, CIO of Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute and Research Center, to talk about this use case and the criteria. Over to Mr. JP. JP Dwivedi.
Mr. Dwivedi, we are not able to hear you. Maybe some audio problem from your end.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
So sometimes extra gadgets create problem.
Right.
Now, we have talked about patient centricity a lot, but patient centricity can be accomplished only when we see that what are most scarce resources that need to be divided into patients, and their attention is fiercely contested for. So two most important resources are the doctors and nurses. So we have just heard about nurses. Now doctors, their time is precious and they are very busy. You know, the doctor-patient ratio is so much skewed, very little number of doctors. So we need to help them in recording the prescriptions and enabling the workflow thereon. But the problem is, every EHR, EMR, HIS, we ask doctors to key in so much of data, and that is something that is hated. So the IT or digital transformation initiatives tried to bring solutions that can ensure clinician productivity to some extent. And a lot of solutions came in the OPD, but everyone comes with some or other bottleneck. Some people come with intelligent pen, and now that pen could be lost, and doctor needs to write the care recipient ID or UHID. And if there is a problem in that, there is an error in that ID, then the whole record or prescription goes to someone else. Then there are solutions that give the paper that is very structured, and maybe the lab order is written in the place where prescription should be written, and then everything goes for a toss. So what we thought in our institute, that at least let us try to be very close to the current EMR system and give build in so much context that doctors can write minimum and use EMR effectively, ensuring the productivity. We have been successful to a good extent, but one piece was missing in the whole this puzzle. And that is when doctor goes on round. Doctor doesn't have time to use either kiosk or even type on the mobile also whatever notes are to be written. So we needed a software, a system that should not be as fragile as using a specific scanner, a specific paper, a specific pen. Doctor should be able to open the mobile and just select the patient, speak, and the note should be transcribed into text. Doctor can review, and this transcription should be so accurate that doctor need not pay extra attention to correct it again and again. So using some sort of AI, that is what we thought. If this particular piece is added to the entire puzzle, we should be able to crack this problem. And thanks to NASSCOM, they actually came to our rescue at very opportune moment of time. And then these 4 companies, they came, and it was so closely contested event, I would say. It was very difficult for jury to announce a winner and whom to keep in and whom to keep out. Right. But then the criteria that Ishaq just mentioned, we applied rigorously, and believe me, so much of discussion has gone in. Finally, we zeroed in into 2, but then we also mentioned 1 as a special mention. And with heavy heart, we had to leave the 4th one out.
Right.
So Ishaq, if you can
please.
bring the next slide, please.
I'm just going there. So here comes the winner.
Right. So you see the winner and runner-up here. M-Tattva is the winner, and Ognito, the runner-up. But we also have a special mention, and that is Navia. They also had certain unique features in there. I congratulate actually not only 3, but all 4 of you who put in a lot of effort and brought in a great elegance to this space. If you are able to pitch in, seamlessly along with the present EMR, I think we have a great future in digital transformation, particularly concerning the physicians and their productivity.
Sure. Thank you so much.
With this, I thank you, Ishaq, and congratulate all the winners.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dwivedi. Thank you very much for the kind words. And once again, many congratulations to M-Tattva, Ognito, as well as the Navia Life Care for a phenomenal presentation and coming out with such a beautiful system. So we move on to the next panel. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Yeah. So digitizing the pathology slides. This was requested by Dr. Mehta's hospital. Dr. Samir Mehta is here with us, the vice chairman, who would do the presentation. Over to you, Dr. Samir.
Thanks, Ishaq, and thanks, NASSCOM. So guys, this one was a little bit different. And I've actually put on a video filter to kind of like show you in real time why this is different. This was all about digitizing what doctors are already doing. They already have a microscope. They're already basically collecting the data, doing the diagnostic on the patient. And so this was all about how do you get a very low cost solution that develops these data sets so that either for research or for future building machine learning models or AI smart systems, basically that may someday substitute some of the hard, heavy lifting of a pathologist. That was what the solution space requested. And this was a space that if you think about it, it's not for the diagnostic that you need the solution. It is for the data storage and the then analysis afterwards. So just like I put on the video filter of these nice cool sunglasses, they cost nothing for me to use them on Zoom. They were part of Zoom. I am paying anyway for the solution. And so how do I give a solution that's really low to no cost, but that might help the customer build their data set either for research or practically to build out these ML models. And I think that was the reality. We had 5 applicants: Aindra, Onward Assist, Shanmuga Innovations, MedPrime, and Curative. And basically, if you think about these, some of these came at it from the hardware point of view, some of these guys came at it from the software point of view. But the one thing that I will tell all of them going forward is make sure that it is zero to no cost, because unlike most of the other solutions you're hearing about, this is one where if a clinician had to take a decision, they will not pay for it, right? In reality. So you've got to find a smarter business model to crack this code is the sense that we have. And with no further ado, the winner of this is Aindra. And we have a strong runner-up in Curative. And we also wanted to mention all the other three, because this is obviously not an easy solution to play out, right? Some of you obviously come at it from different substitute models, whether it's hardware. The problem with hardware is then your business model is very different. If you're software, your business model is very different, right? And then you have to figure out how to integrate, how to get into the EMR, how to play to the existing system that the hospital has. And so with that, what we would like to tell anybody who wants to go forward in this space is, unlike most of the others, this is probably critical for you to get to work with the lab integration system, an LMS as they call it, the management system, or the EMR system for a hospital. If you can work with them to crack the code on how to make this low to no cost, you'll get space. And then you can build out these ML models that might have great opportunity for all of us. We think this is a big space in the ML AI space. Clearly, nobody's cracked the code yet. That's what we all saw through our deliberations. But the opportunity set for you to build large data sets is there if you can come up with very creative, no to low cost models for hospitals and doctors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Mehta there. And many congratulations to Aindra and Curative, and also special mention to MedPrime, Shanmuka, and Onward Assist. I'll move on to the next one. Sharvanan has spoken about his part. And finally, we come to the AI-based respiratory syndrome diagnosis. Again, a very heavily contested segment. And we have Dr. Jaishankar Das to talk about it, Director of Research, Institute of Medical Sciences at SUM Hospital, Bhubaneswar. Over to you, Dr. Das.
Hi, good evening, all of you.
Hi.
So this was a challenge which is a little unique, and when we have set up India's second largest COVID hospital, we faced this really that to avoid the crowd. We thought of that there is a requirement of a quick assisted tools which can be segregated all the kind of respiratory syndromes. And because people are all crazy to come for the COVID tests, and all the surgeries are on hold and everything, a lot of problems happen in the real time on ground. Then basically I thought of while discussing with the innovation centers of my own universities, because we are in the medical wing of the Institute of Medical Sciences medical wing. And there we thought of, is that possible to have a national challenge only on the AI-based respiratory syndrome? And coincidentally, that time NASSCOM come into the picture, and NASSCOM is doing the same stuff. And thanks to NASSCOM that put every corporate into the picture where the solutions is there and where the people can take up the solutions to a different level, and it can be translated and scalable in with the many hospitals. I feel this is a need of the hour for many hospitals. So there are a lot of constraints. I'll just try to tell about the constraint. I have come across with few companies before these challenges who was providing the AI-based assisted tools which can able to detect the biomarkers which can be differentiating the real COVID to the other pulmonary or respiratory diseases or respiratory symptoms. So, but the purpose of this challenge was to deploy some AI-based assisted tools which can be deployed in the OPD theater itself when the crowds are there, and so that we can segregate those challenges. And also there are a lot of images, people have already taken, a lot of follow-up patients are there, so that we can just segregate the flu, pulmonary, or other lung disorders based on the radiological images, and also for the treatment purpose that cloud-based databases can be used for further follow-up, and so that people need not to come for the again the test and the COVID-related things. And one very important part is that there is a acute respiratory syndrome ARDS cases were so huge. So, and those are not related to non-COVID sometimes, and people are getting so much harassed because of lack of such kind of tools. So I thought of, let me take up these challenges, and there are, I missed some of the presentations, but afterwards I have gone through these presentations where this Iconist, Predible, Curei, Rise, and Clusters, these all have put up their efforts to pitch their prototypes. And I think
I
the
wish,
next
you
slide.
know, Dr. Das, we were in a live hall and we could have paused here and asked the people to cheer for their teams.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we couldn't do that. Okay. And yeah, so I'll go to the next slide. Are you ready?
Yeah, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so let's do that. So here comes the
It
winner.
is an extreme challenge, and I think, wow, this is the Curei is the winner, and congratulating Curei, and runner-up is Predible, and so there all the teams have done the extreme thing, and I think personally I will be in touch with all these prototype holders, and congratulating the entire team, congratulating the winner, runner-up, and NASSCOM for giving this platform to both the stakeholders. And I think we did a fantastic job. And NASSCOM, you have done a marvelous job. I have never came across, after being my 15 years of career in the innovation in a lot of government agencies. I think this is the challenges where the people, both the sides can meet and share their idea, and so that prototype and the other stakeholders can meet on a single platform. I think you have done a fabulous job, the team of NASSCOM. So thank you so much. And thank you, Ishak, and congratulations to the team again.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Das. And once again, congratulations to Curei and Predible. And as already mentioned by Dr. Das, okay, this was a heavily contested area. I would also like to thank Iconist, okay, Rises, and Clusters.ai for their presentations, and they also have some very good credible solutions there. So that's it I had from my end, and in the interest of time, I would like to cut short this presentation.